course, Jim and I, you see, Jim is a complete introvert. I'm an extrovert. I'm an Irish show-off. I like to be on all the time. So I took a shot in the dark, hoping that I wouldn't meet this fellow. And he was just as kindly then and as wonderful as he is today. And it was 1926. And it's a friendship that's endured for 55 years.
But is it true that you talked there about being different? One of the stories I heard was that you used to go out all night and stay up on the town, and he used to go to bed early. Is that true?
Sure.
Does it still happen?
Oh, no. No. You know, 31 and 81, there's a lot of difference, believe me.
What about the two of you? You were both around at that time in America with that was a gangster here, the For Real, wasn't it? Did you meet any real gangsters, the two of you?
I had a funny thing happen. I was looking at a horse show up in Connecticut. And I think I told you this, Pat, about the kid. A little red-haired kid with freckled all over his face. Came up and stood alongside of me. Didn't know him. Never saw him before. And I said, "Hello, son." He said, "Well, did you, didn't you?" I said, "Did I or didn't what?" He said, "Well, did you, didn't you?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about, son. What is it? Did you go yellow when you went to the chair that time?" I said, "Oh, that's what you meant." He said, "Yeah, did you? Oh, didn't you?" I said, "I will leave it up to you. Do you know that nobody's ever figured that one out?"
Nobody.
Never.
It's an amazing connotation about that picture.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever know. The writer didn't even know. He said, leave it up to the public.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But what about gangsters? Did you meet any gangsters?
Oh, yes, when I was doing this play that I met Mommy in, my wife, it was a gangster play. It was a play called Broadway. And subsequently and consequently, the mobsters and guerrillas at that time in Chicago, and that was in the Roaring 20s. Right. That was the height of the Capone days. And they would buy out the first 10 rows. You know, they'd be there with their mouths. And there was one little guy named was Frankie Lake. And he was as tough as they came. And he came backstage about a half hour before the curtain time, introduced himself, sat down. He didn't look like a ruffian. He looked, like a smart little dude. And he sat at my dressing room table. He reached in and he pulled out this .45. And I said, "Wait a minute, take it easy." His name was Frankie Lake. "Well," he says, "I have to do that, Patty." He said, "They'll think I'm a gangster or something. I can leave it in here, back of your mirror." So he sat back. So I finally said, "Well, I will brave the lion in his so-called den." And I said, "Frankie, tell me something. It comes to us because from the word higher up, the guy, Capone was the boss. Why is it you're so nice to the actors?" Because they were. And they'd get some second-hand gangster would try and stick the actors, be at the stage door. "We want so much." Capone would hear about it, blow them away, waste them, as they say. And I said, "Why is it?" Mikey looked me straight in the eye. He said, "Patty, I want to tell you something. We figure it this way. You guys are getting away with murder, and so are we." I rest my case.